Well, ladies and germs, welcome again to another episode of Via Adelante's YouTube channel dealing with Via Adelante's activities in the world, and in particular, the Green Freedom Project. I'm doing a screen share here in my Zoom meeting with my executive assistant, Mirari Lucero Geraldo, describing this diagram, this whiteboard diagram that I created the other day in order to have a discussion with my Egyptian partner who is using these materials that I am creating here. Actually, she's using this as a guide so that she may compose a large a prospectus, an informational packet to distribute to interested parties. And today I was showing, I've been doing this for the last several days, and I was showing this whiteboard diagram to my executive assistant in our meeting today, to describe to her what it is I've been up to with my Egyptian partner. Now, Via Adelante has the headquarters for its Western Hemisphere activities here in Mexico, and my Egyptian partner will command the headquarters for the Europe, West Asia, and Africa aspect of the project. And she is an accomplished businesswoman and has created the sort of informational packet that any project needs for distribution to potential partners in the project. So I spent the last few days describing our Green Freedom Project to her, and I say our Green Freedom Project because she and I are partnered in the development of the project. I am the technology guy creating it, and she is the business person advising me in any fashion that she can with promoting it. So she asked me in anticipation of creating the packet of information to help her to understand the details of the project. I'm the guy with the information about the project. I put it together, the details, technology, and organization. And she is the business person who will help me to move it forward in her part of the world as well as here in my part of the world. And I work with my executive assistant, Mirari Lucero. Go. Say hello, Mirari.
Hi, I'm Akira.
Yep.
Please, for all the information.
I'm got this full screen share here to show it to you folks so that you can see what it is I was sharing with my partner in Egypt, because clearly a visualization is a very powerful way of conveying information. So I'm going to go quickly through this, both for you, the viewers' benefit, and as well as for my executive assistant. The Green Freedom Project, it seeks to deal with global warming. That's what the GW here in this little bubble stands for. And it intends to accomplish this global warming by creating a new monetary system based on cryptocurrency. Now, this portion of the diagram deals with the new monetary system, and this portion of the diagram deals with the global warming aspect. Now, as I was saying, people would in the world who have some familiarity, of course, with global warming, pretty much everybody has some familiarity with that and how that concerns people. And there are a few people who have some initial exposure to cryptocurrency, which is what this little bubble with the CR in it stands for.
Cryptocurrency?
Cryptocurrency, yes, the cryptocurrency ecosystem that began with Bitcoin in 2009 and now has exploded into the world of digital finance to challenge the old. And that's what you see here is an indication of the challenge between cryptocurrency and the old neoliberal system. That's what this bubble with the N and the little L stand for, and how these two systems, the old system and the new system, are in a competitive arrangement. This is the new system, young and embryonic and not well developed. This is the old system, which now basically runs the entire financial circumstances of the world, the legacy system. And here I describe its characteristics, at least in a limited, basic way. While the crypto system, the alternative monetary system that it makes possible, and which is the specific element of the Green Freedom Project, the new monetary system created by the cryptocurrency technology, and which would not normally have any association with global warming, if in fact you put the two of them together, global warming can be dealt with by the technological, the various technologies of green energy production, which you see depicted here, nuclear, solar, and wind. But the challenge that the replacement of hydrocarbon energy with green energy, the challenge that we face there is that there is so much energy being consumed by humanity at this point that replacing it is just a gigantic undertaking. And the problem is that the old money system doesn't have the funding capability to handle the size of the challenge. So I see the scale is huge. The funding required is huge. And the solution to the problem of this funding, which is out of reach of the legacy system, is to create a new monetary system using cryptocurrencies. And that new monetary system has the ability to create enough money to meet the challenges, the scale of the challenge of developing the green energy producing technology at a scale capable of replacing the current vast 150,000 terawatt hours of energy consumed and produced by hydrocarbon energy every year. So hydrocarbon burning. Okay, so this diagram lays that out and creates a picture of the two issues, the old money system and the new money system, which we see here, and the global warming challenge, which we see laid out here. Now, the neoliberal, let's take a quick look at the old legacy neoliberal system. Its characteristics are that it's an ancient monopoly. Here is the essence of the problem. The old system is completely controlled by a group of very powerful, wealthy individuals. And they run the current world money system with the dollar at its center. And since anybody who has a project and wants funding has to go to this monopoly to get it, if the monopoly doesn't approve, if the funding people, the bankers and investors don't see that your project has the kind of profitability that they will require to provide you with the funding necessary, then they say no. And this monopoly control stifles the essential entrepreneurialism that is out there. There's a great deal of entrepreneurial energy in the world, but it cannot get the funding that it needs unless it meets the requirements of the people who control money. And their requirements are basically, we want our piece of the action and your project doesn't qualify. So that's the ancient monopoly as a problem. It stifles entrepreneurialism. And in effect, this is the neoliberal system, and it imprisons everyone in it. And that imprisonment is enabled, and the imprisonment is accompanied by a form of slavery called debt slavery. And these are the really nasty aspects of the old system. Everyone is captured. Everyone is confined to it, subject to it, because it's a monopoly and there's no breaking out of the monopoly, or hasn't been in the past. Now, as to the issue of debt slavery, I recommend that you look to the work of Michael Hudson. He's an economist, and he will help you to understand the system of debt slavery. And in future video episodes, I will go into that in further detail. But in competition with this old system, we now have a breaking out of the old monopoly, the opportunity to do so by the creation of a new, separate, alternative monetary system, which, once it's established, the monopoly has been broken. And down here, I deal with the characteristics of the new alternative monetary system. And at the center of those characteristics is escape from the imprisonment of neoliberalism, which I have depicted here in this very large bubble. And the characteristics of that escape are that all of the underemployed people in the world will have an opportunity provided by a new monetary system to be employed and have a better life. Because you see, the new monetary system, instead of being based on ruthless pursuit of profit, the new system created by Via Adelante has characteristics which are determined by Via Adelante. We choose the nature of this new system, and we choose that this new system shall be based on human dignity. Every working man is entitled, man and woman is entitled to live a life of financial security and safety. On a personal note, when I became prosperous almost accidentally by my involvement early on in the cryptocurrency enterprise, one of the things that I experienced was that sense of safety. I was prosperous. I didn't have to worry about money. The stress of having that concern hovering over me at all times was swept away. And I thought to myself, everybody should have that condition of life where you're not stressed and worrying all the time. It's very bad for you. And so when I saw the opportunity to create the new monetary system, I also realized that we could base it We could design it as we wished, and we could design it to be based on human dignity, the pursuit of human dignity. Now, the other aspects of the new system are that, as I said here, that a massive employment program becomes possible to employ everyone at a level that allows them the human dignity, a life, quality of life of human dignity. The massive amount of capital created in a new monetary system means that all those entrepreneurs who couldn't get funded before because the ancient system was monopolized can now get funded. So this is expressed here in this little bubble, the liberation of entrepreneurs by liberating the funding for them, liberated entrepreneur funding. Okay, finally, because you have all of these entrepreneurs funded, because you have massive employment opportunities that weren't there before, because you create a monetary system that has a substantial amount of capital able to fund all manner of development projects, then you have an accelerated, unleashed and accelerated condition of global development, which means that, you know, the development of the world prosperity and advancement is expanded, greatly expanded by having the access to a substantial amount of investment capital, literally invented by the new monetary system. And again, in the future, I will go into how this works. Briefly, I will say that you may have noticed in the last few years, during the COVID epidemic in particular, pandemic, that the government, when it needs to, can just print money, poof, out of thin air. And this is a characteristic of money that most people aren't aware of. Most people think you have to work for money, and that money is not available to anyone in any way other than working to get it. But that's not the case at all, because governments and banks can invent money out of thin air, as we have seen and currently see continually in the United States dollar system, as we've seen in the COVID epidemic, when trillions of dollars of money was invented and passed around to keep people going during the epidemic. Now, if you can invent the money necessary to accomplish things, then you have this opportunity to pursue what I call the gold rush that arises from the invention of this new system. How does this work? Well, you got the new money system. Use the money system to fund the expansion of global warming, the technology that remediates global warming and replaces the old hydrocarbon system of oil, natural gas, and coal with solar, nuclear, solar, and wind. Well, what you're actually doing is you're building the energy supply of the future. Now, that energy supply, that 150,000 terawatt hours that humanity consumes every year and that is created by the burning of fossil fuels, earns those energy suppliers a $27 trillion pot of gold. All those coal mines and coal trains and oil wells and pipelines and refineries and oil tankers and all of the cars and trucks and planes and ships that burn hydrocarbon fuel and all of the energy, the power plants with their boilers and steam turbines and electrical generators to generate the electricity that powers the world, that entire capital infrastructure runs to provide energy for everybody and rewards the people who provide the energy with $27 trillion a year of revenue. Now, if you create a new monetary system that funds the development of this and you build that new system, then you are generating that energy. And you become the owner of that energy system, and you become the recipient of that $27 trillion a year worth of energy, the revenue that comes from that energy. So now everyone who participates in the Green Freedom Project becomes the owner of the new energy system, and they will then, using the cryptocurrency called green, which is the basic currency of the new monetary system, everyone will be using it the way they use their regular money, this globally, and it'll be mounted on their smartphone. It'll be in what is called a cryptocurrency wallet. It's a piece of technology on your smartphone. You may have heard of it. And when you go about your business of everyday life, you will have your phone and the other person will have their phone, and you'll make a transfer from your wallet to their wallet on your phone seamlessly. The Chinese are already doing something close to that. And that's the way the new system will work, but you will always have an account in green on your smartphone. And when the money is coming in from the sale of the energy of the produced by the system, which you funded and participated in building, you will receive a portion of the revenue, the profit from the sale of that energy, which currently $27 trillion a year is going to the folks who own and run the oil wells, oil pipelines, oil refineries, the tankers, coal mines, coal trains, and power plants. Okay, so that basically is the situation. And here I wrote to create this visualization of the overall energy. The $27 trillion goes to built with crypto funding, owned by the builders of the new green energy system and the participants in the project. The participants, see, the building of the system, there will be people who build it, but there will also be people who will use green, who won't be part of the building, and that is displayed here. Participants are people who just plain use the crypto. They use it as their regular money. So, which leads us to the motto of the project, which is just use it. Just use it. There's no winning, there's no losing. It's not an investment. You just transfer your crypto to the people at the grocery store or the hardware store or wherever in your daily economic activities. Now, the $27 trillion a year is split 50-50. Because, for instance, when you harvest sunlight for energy, that sunlight falling on the land, for instance, Mexico. Mexico is a wealthy country in terms of solar energy resources. Well, when you harvest that solar energy resource is the patrimony of the Mexican people. And they deserve to have a portion of the profit, the revenue that's generated when you harvest that resource. So the revenue generated is split 50-50. 50% of it goes through the government of the country where the energy is produced to the people. Those people not involved directly in building the project. And if they choose, not involved directly in using the crypto in their normal activity, although I would hope they would. 50% goes to the government of Mexico for distribution and the funding of the projects that the Mexican government feels contributes to the welfare of the Mexican people. And the other 50%, as I said, goes to the folks who built it and the folks who used the currency. And again, the motto is just use it. And I could go into the details of the global warming technology, but it's unnecessary at this point. You've already got enough to wrap your head around. The motivation for using the currency has several features to it. Number one is anybody who use it you can be hired and get a financial benefit that is paid in crypto for your role in building the system. And people are motivated by personal financial economics, and in that fashion, there's a motivation there. The governments are motivated because they get half of the outcome, half of the revenue generated from the new energy system, which they can then distribute to their people or use in governmental development projects. And also, there is the additional motivation that people are concerned about global warming, so they want to see it remediated. And they're concerned that there's not enough work being done yet to bring that about. And the creation of the new monetary system, which funds at a scale capable of bringing that new green energy online within a reasonable amount of time and solving the global warming problem, there is an additional motivation for individual people around the world to participate in the Green Freedom Project. Thank you very much. So we know about the technology. We know the nuclear technology. Some people aren't happy about it. We know about the solar energy technology, and everybody likes that. And we know about the wind technology, which is all of these technologies are mature. They're well developed. There's nothing special that needs to be done to that stands in the way of having them work. They're already well developed. They're ready to go, as are all of the supply chains upstream from them. So this is, and I'll be describing this in greater detail in the future. So there it is, a visual depiction using this whiteboard diagram. And if you take a screenshot of this and set it off to the side and then listen to it again or pass it on to anyone you think should find out about it, that'd be great. You could be helping out. And if you want to participate in the Green Freedom Project, you can contact us at via.adelante@gmail.com. We're working on our website, which will help too in the future. And if you want to be part of it, contact us at via.adelante@gmail.com. We're looking for management people, and we're looking for a software development team, and we're looking for people to help us get in contact with the Mexican authorities, in particular, the economics minister, Raquel Buendrosco, and the woman behind AMLO, Tatiana Cloutier. So help us to accomplish these things, join the project, and we'll build a better future together. And so I'm going to end this little blurb the way I usually do. Are you ready, Mirari?
Yes.
Live long and prosper, my friends. Until next time. Bye-bye.